This is the map Pirate Cove in Trackmania. At a first glance, it might look rather basic. But what if you added 32 cars that are constantly driving around and you have to drive 10 laps without crashing into them? That is the new game mode Weekly Grand in Trackmania. It was added in the recent update, and it's the first time in 20 years of the game's history that there's now a game mode with collisions. These cars drive the same line as the author's original Ghost, meaning across 10 laps of driving, they could be anywhere on the track and they're very unpredictable, and it's up to you to react in time to them and also maybe learn their patterns and try to find out where there's space on the racetrack. I have played the Weekly Grand races for 60 laps, but I haven't yet hunted the 10-lap version. And so that is what I did this week, and I had a lot of fun trying to get a good record, and that is the story I'm going to tell you today. So this is the first user-made Weekly Grand track, and Nadeo know what they had in mind for where they should drive and where the CPUs then therefore are going to drive right after. They mimic the author Ghost. So you have to be very intentional about this. And I'm definitely sure you can trust players with building the maps. I'm not sure you can trust players with driving the ghosts. This is the first user-made one, yeah? Here, nosedive to skip some penalty. Oh, you can probably keep 4th gear through all that. But the map is quite true to the style that Nadeo have set with the first couple maps, so I think it passes. But yeah, I already see, like, what I dislike a little bit is how chaotically the cars drive. The Nadeo ones, you could kind of figure they would drive the same part of the track every time. But these ones are a bit more sporadic in their line. But now it's very chaotic. Like, look at this. 3 different lines and you gotta dodge them all. It's hard. Maybe they don't want it to be too predictable either. If they're too predictable, then there's no funny, like, getting squished moments or anything like that. Oh. Damn. Give me space. Okay. We survive. 10th place. After that discovery, I did end up hunting a bit on stream and brought the record down to something like a 749, and afterwards other streamers played it and Grenadi quickly improved down to a 739. Still with some very visible mistakes, as these cars are unpredictable and the author made very little effort to drive a predictable line. My strategy to try to get a clean run was to get as far as I could, maybe into lap 5 or lap 6, memorizing all the cars' positions, and then I would try to improvise from there. And this is how my first promising attempts went. Dodge the CPU and skip all the penalty grass, and now you get a bunch of speed for the straightaway. So this is something we're gonna be trying to do. Here as well, if you have the space, you can go wide and get a bunch of speed for this off-road section. But there's a car in the way, and was that the Swedish one? Yep, that was the Swedish one. Fantastic. All right, we will find a pattern. I am not worried about that. And I've thought about this too, like what makes this really interesting is, even if I'll hunt this for a few hours, I'd likely still not get anywhere close to a perfect run, because there's just gonna be so many incidents you have to react to immediately, right? You're never gonna get the run to go exactly as you sit and plan and scheme out. The 6 we can go on the inside of. Just not with that line. Inside line? Okay, saved it. Very wide now, and then cut there. Oh. First 13 minutes, guys, of properly hunting this, and I already feel like I have a pretty good pattern for the first 2 laps out of 10. This time we're gonna go around 7. 6 is gonna be in the way, but we make it. 5 goes to the right, and now 4. I said left side of 4. 2's like not bad. And so rare you have a Trackmania map with moving obstacles of this style. There have been some bonket maps in the past, but other than that, you're never really thinking about things changing in the moment in Trackmania. Everything's so static typically, and look at that. What the hell? Okay, lap 5, you have to be more than 3 seconds ahead. No! I got abducted, bro. In lap 8. I thought I had this face. Don't go too wide. Oh no. Oh no, bro. It's all melting down. He's hogging everything, bro. There's nothing left. The Swede has taken it all. Wait, how is this a 744 though? That doesn't make sense, guys, because 743 with all that? We will definitely beat this. All I know is that I have to be ahead of this ghost. If I'm like 1 second ahead of this ghost in the first couple of laps, good things will happen. That is a good start line. 0.1 ahead. Can I now squeeze here? Woohoo, okay. And around. You're getting a lot of close calls. Nope. No. Sweden again, bro. It's always Sweden. What are we working with? What do we got? -7? When I was talking earlier about like resetting for a perfect run, when a run like this one is still record pace, that really shows what I'm talking about. Like, this does not feel like it should be world record pace. I mean, I'll take it for now. If I can finish strong, please. I'm losing my mind. I'm actually losing my mind. Well, this was world record pace. Seems it's not world record anymore. That is so crazy. Oh my, is it even PV? Is it even PV? I'm not sure anymore. I love collisions. I can't believe they haven't added these before. We've gone years without experiencing this. That's crazy. Man, that was fun. Shows the potential, but hurts my soul. Let's see if we can do all that, but a little bit better, and get like a 730. Speed. Oh my. That was so close. Crazy. Jesus, these gaps are crazy. No, I failed my Neo. I failed my Neo slide. Yeah, what is this? Is stuff like that even allowed on YouTube? Don't go left. Oh, I knew it. I knew it. Double car in this turn. We are so doomed. Inside line? Okay. Oh, nah. Nah. I cannot believe it's that fast with everything going wrong. Could still do like a 725 perhaps, but that is world record. Took 1.5 hours, not bad. All right, I think I'm gonna do one more improvement, or at least try to. I don't have that much more time, but I'll try a couple more runs, see if we can avoid getting smushed, and then improve. You'd think after beating the world record by 8 seconds that I'd look a little bit more happy than what I did, but truth be told, I was kind of disappointed with this run because it had a lot of big mistakes. It had a lot of places where I got stuck and places where I didn't get the optimal cycle. After many hours of grinding, I finally got the run that I was chasing. And now I'm gonna show it to you, but I will commentate over it and you'll see me talking because my webcam actually froze just at the time when I was driving this, and you'd be staring at that the entire time. So in the start, I already realized that it didn't really matter how quick you were up to checkpoint 1. That's why I'm kind of trolling driving around a couple of cars and going needlessly wide. It's because in this right-left turn, this car here, you have to wait to give you enough room to pass it on the inside. And so you're kind of pace-locked waiting for that. But after passing that one, you're now on a timer to reach this corner in time to pass on the right side of the 17, drift around the 16, and get on the inside line of the 15, all in one go. And it's very important to keep pace from the start because it opens you up to getting more and more pace. It's actually what really made me so fascinated about this map is that the faster, close pass there, the faster you went, the more the cars would be just in the right positions if you really pushed it to gain even more time on top of that. But if you were just driving chill, they'd block you even more. So it felt really satisfying when you really risked hard and then got past a bunch of cars at the right time to gain even more time. So far, I'm already on a very familiar pace. I know roughly where the CPUs are going to be at and that I could pass number 3 on the inside there. Here I'm again pushing hard because if I make it to this next corner and get on the right side of the 1 and that other car, I push a bunch more speed into the next lap. Very close to crashing the car there, and I was left with no option but to go for the long way round, but I preserved all my speed, so I'm quite stoked about this. And now I'm trying to go on the right side of the Norway car. That's also an indicator of good pace. And then into this turn, the car here kind of blocks the line you want to go for, so you have to go a bit wide, wait for it, and then accelerate with the speed around it. Here there's a close call because the car kind of takes up the line you want to go, but I discovered you can drift on the inside of it, and you have just enough space for that. We again nosedive, get on the right side to get a bit extra grip and speed, and then go into the next lap. Now, this far into the run, things start getting a bit tense. There's still a couple of pace checks you have to pass. One of them is the Brazil car, because I think it's Brazil, which is in this next corner. If you pass behind it here before it starts turning to the right, you're on really good pace. And now this next car again kind of takes the line you want to take. You see it's taking a lot of space. So inside line is forced, losing a bit of time that you have gained, and it sucks a bit, but you just gotta go for the best that's available. Making it up the hill here before that red car does is another great time gain. Otherwise, if you were a bit slower, you'd have to wait for it. And this far into the run, I'm on some of the best pace I've had. I've probably had a couple of the runs to get this far, but now it starts getting really difficult to dodge the cars because they're kind of staggered. They drive at, you know, a percentage pace of the author time, and so for some laps, you're going to be seeing no cars, and then you're going to be seeing a lot. I've had a run up to this point that got smushed by those two cars, so I knew to go on the left of them, but for such clean pace, this is the furthest I've gotten. And so from here on out, I'm kind of winging everything I see. I've not seen the cars, how they're placed if you drive this far and make no mistakes. So again, go to the right. I'm just hoping there's an open pathway around the lap and into the next checkpoint. And it looks like the cars are just moving out of the way for me. Really, really nice and no trouble for that lap. But it's going to get a lot more difficult to avoid crashes. Here I again see open road, nothing to fear. But I'm always scared of meeting cars here if they suddenly steer. That one was kind and let me pass. We go wide once more, build speed, try to get a lot down to the grass. I see that it's jumping a bit to the right, so I go to the left, making sure to not get any crashes on that landing. That would really suck. Here, this car I thought could screw me over, but I make it past, and I make an important move to go around that car, not risking anything there. Again, around, and you know, these racing lines, they don't look ideal, but they're really playing for safety here. I was scared going on the inside together with that other car. There really wasn't enough room, but luckily it steered in the right way. And here, crucial dodge on the right, noticing there's room to still set up the drifts and get around. Now here I see two cars into the turn you really want to keep speed out of. They both steer in towards the line I was going at, but I made it past. Landed pretty clean, and we're, you know, 7 laps in with no mistakes. I was feeling great, but then, of course, I ran out of track. I ran out of room and lost about 80 speed there before the huge penalty grass section. And this made me a bit disappointed. Luckily, it wasn't that bad, all things considered. I also had to go wide around the Sweden car, but we made it. And now, still focusing up because I'm seeing huge blue splits. Trying not to make any further mistakes. It is quite crowded though. I make it on the inside of that one. I hope there's room, but I get blocked off once more, and that's another crash, and now I'm kind of like in the middle of everything. But luckily, the ghosts are slowed down, so I would accelerate away from them. I see that one taking up all the room on the left where I typically go. I jump on the right side instead. I was scared of this one blocking me on the exit. Like, the worst that can happen is if you crash into the back of one of the cars, because then you lose all your speed. If you, you know, clip the side of a car, that might be fine, but yeah, really want to avoid straight up crashing into them. And look at that dodge. That was probably my coolest moment in this run. I was seeing like, oh my, I'm running out of space, but there was just enough room. Go around this one, taking up a bit of the line. Again, I see two cars in this turn, and I'm just hoping they won't block off everything, and there was a bit of space. You know, it's like, it really is so random, this game mode, depending on how the author drives, what will happen, and how fast you can drive to get to certain favorable moments where the cars are spaced out and stuff. So, I mean, I'm sure if someone can beat this pace by a second and a half or 2 seconds early in the run, they will have completely different opportunities to pass. Here I was just hoping there would be space, and there again is. And I started feeling pretty confident, but again, two cars over here. Just kinda trying to sense where they might go. You start, you know, recognizing the country banners on the cars, and then kinda how they drive, at least for the early laps. But I was just going on intuition here, releasing a bit in that final platform corner, because I thought the other car might steer down. And then last part towards the finish, and I clock in at the 7:23. At the time of driving this, it was 15 seconds ahead of Grenadi on the leaderboards. Time will tell if it stands as the world record at the end of the week. But after 4 hours of grinding, I'm pretty proud of that. Like, that was a very good run. Really cool experience to hunt a track with moving collisions effectively, because it feels like you can always improve your time. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this. I certainly did, but let me know if you guys enjoyed watching such a grind, and if you want to see more of it, I'd be happy to make more videos about the Grand Enduro. Thank you all for sticking the distance, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Take care. Thank you for watching.